I want to announce to people that I'm a bit frightened right now. This doesn't actually happen to me very often. You guys know I like to play with fire a little bit, right? So I ended accidentally Bert Kreischer and Bill Burr's podcast by poking Bill Burr on the nose and then just sort of backpedaling the whole time because I'm very afraid of comedians when they're agitated and emotional, but I also like when they're agitated and emotional. So when I'm interviewing Anthony Jeselnik on South Beach Sessions, I'm beginning from a point of being a little afraid. I don't want to make a mistake here that's going to make this person like cut my face off because he's been funny since he's 9 years old and angry since he's 9 years old. And the problem I have right now is I know how good Sam Morril is at comedy, but I also know how not in the mood he is for us today. And not in the mood. We have a treasure right now in that we have acidic, dark Sam Morril right now after just a crushing Knicks loss. And I know he doesn't want to be on with us, and I know he doesn't want to do this, but this is actually a get today, a Knicks fan willing to be hurt publicly today. So, Sam, you honor me by making time in your schedule to do this. I'm sorry we're doing this to you today.
Well, first of all, Dan, not in the mood has never stopped you, from what I hear from your wife. Also, yeah, I'm not in the mood to be here. I told you that last time. It was a bad loss, but you pushed and you pushed. And this Bert Kreischer, Bill Burr thing, if you feel so bad about it, why do you bring it up every 5 minutes? Well, I feel so bad. I ended Bert and Bill's podcast. You mention every time I talk to you. Hopefully Tony can behave as well on this episode. I mean, this is a mess last time. So, yeah, I'm not in the mood to talk about the Knicks right now.
Tony, you took, I don't think it's a stray, actually. I don't think Tony knows essentially what it is that you're talking about, but we'll get back to that in a second. Billy betrayed you recently, not unlike Zaz recently betrayed Amin. But Sam, how are you feeling today? Did you have trouble sleeping last night? Because I was saying before you came on here that...
I didn't sleep, Dan. I'm like Donovan Mitchell after his loss. I didn't sleep. I feel like I'm hungover. We're gonna win on Friday, but you know, look, the Boston team came together. What can you do? That you lost your star, and they played a great game. It was very frustrating to watch.
I worry for your team because I was making the argument before you came on here that the Celtics are championship great because they're built for threes. They can hit 25 of them whether or not Tatum's playing. So you have to fear that going into the Garden because the Garden hasn't closed out a playoff opponent this century.
Well, do you feel any guilt, Dan?
About Tatum?
About you going on here and being like, where's his moment? Where's Jason Tatum's moment? And then he tears the Achilles. He got a moment because of you. You jinxed him.
Well, he had one before that when he's been injured before in big moments and been physically hurt. I remember those moments. They are moments for him. I remember them.
I bet you'll get a Nico Harrison Dallas welcome next time you go to Boston.
You can't sit there and claim that I created a moment for Jason Tatum, but it was.
Am I the first one to say this? I can't possibly be the first.
Well, it was his most memorable moment of the playoffs.
It was. No, he had 42 before that went down. He was
That's
good.
not a moment. 42 is 42 moments.
Okay.
Huh? I realized I was talking to a nerd. All right. Yeah, look. Boston's still tough without him. What can I say? I think we're going to win on Friday, but they're still good. What do you want from me, Dan? It was an annoying game to watch. We showed no desire. They called 5 fouls on Brunson in 9 minutes. What the was that? What am I watching? He breathed on Jaylen Brown. And I'll tell you, I wanted to hate. Have I told you that I met Jaylen Brown? I wanted to hate him, but he was actually a good guy.
Isn't that the worst? With someone you want to hate?
I did a fashion show at the Apollo don't ask me why. They had
You did a fashion show where?
It was at the Apollo in Harlem. It was like me, Marlon Wayans, Dion Cole. It was a stacked lineup of comics. It's a fashion show crowd. They sucked. I bombed. And I'm in the green room and Jaylen Brown walks in. I'm like, oh, of course a Celtic just witnessed that bomb. Jesus Christ. This is all I need to make my night worse. And he came over to me and he was like, that was so funny. He was so cool. And I talked to him for like 15, 20 minutes. He was great. But he did tell me that they were going to rip the Knicks' throats out on opening night, and they did. He did get me there. But, yeah, I mean, you call Brunson a flopper. What the is Jaylen Brown? Brown has been playing so dirty the last couple games. It's insane.
You're so mad.
It's a lot of F-bombs from Sam, and it's like coming out naturally because of what happened.
I'm sorry I messed up your family show, Dan. I'm sorry, little fucking morning show. I didn't know I was on live with Kathy Lee or whatever the hell. Sorry, Kelly. I don't know who even has the show anymore. I'm so angry.
How did your morning show shenanigans go the last time we talked to you when you were surrounded by fentanyl?
It was such a disaster that I'm holding it. I'm not releasing it until I make a movie, and it'll be in the movie. It was that ugly. It was that weird and uncomfortable.
Wow. Because they're hard. It's hard to surprise anybody now. It's hard to be.
Yeah, but we did it. We did it. We pulled it off. But I have to save that one. I don't want the world to see that one until the movie comes out.
Oh, so it's that good? You're saying that? Oh, okay. That uncomfortable. Wow. So you're saying it was transcendent?
Yeah, it was probably me at my best.
Is this better than when Gary wore a gimp suit?
It was better.
Jesus.
Because this time Gary refused to put on the gimp suit, and the guy had no idea what we were talking about, and we got a fight on. It's too good to even explain. I'm saving it.
We've talked to you a little bit about the movie you're making. Not very much though about the movie you're making. What can you tell people about it, or what do you want people to know about it?
Nothing. It'll be out next year, but making a movie myself, financing myself because I don't want to. Even if you get funding, man, they take 2 fucking years. It takes forever to get people on board. I'm in the process of making something else, and it takes 2 months to set a meeting with these lazy who live in their Apple store looking offices in LA who don't work, but they pretend to work. We all get up to work.
The studio is real, right? Seth Rogen's The Studio is real.
It's all real. These people don't work. It's like Yom Kippur turns into like, you're like, oh, we're off Yom Kippur through MLK Day. I'm like, I don't, those aren't related. It's maddening. They're maddening to work with. So I just I'll just make something myself. I'll just put in my own money, and we got amazing cameos in it too. But that's all I can say. I don't want to share anymore because I want it to be a surprise.
Sam, is there a part of your Knicks fandom that once Tatum went down, you're like, oh, now we might actually lose because the expectation is that we're going to win. Like this might actually work against us, and also it just means more Derek White, and I almost fear him more.
No part of that did not. You just put that in my brain. That was not in my brain.
You should fear that guy. You should fear that guy. That guy always answers the bell.
That's a champion.
I'm more scared. I'm the most scared of Derek White for sure. He's so annoying because he's one of those he's like that player that your dad loves. He's just like a perfect player. He's so annoying. He doesn't miss a shot. He's a great defender, although Brunson did cook him. And my hope is that the Celtics, as good as they are, I do think Horford and Holiday for the first time ever look kind of old. That being said, White and Pritchard scare me more than anyone.
Oh, but this is the part that's scary, right? I feel like I may have been misidentifying in previous conversations with you some of what I was doing because of the role Tatum plays. You and I have been talking about the idea of how hard it is to be the third player on one of these teams with this ego, and Drew Holiday's been a champion there for a while. But when Drew Holiday's your 5th best player, because Porzingis and Derek White are better, when Drew Holiday's your 5th best player, even sort of wash, I'm telling you, I'm still scared of that team even without Jason Tatum. If their other guys are healthy, they're as good as everybody but OKC, even without Tatum.
I agree with you. I agree with you. They're scary, man. And I mean, what the hell happened to Porzingis though? Did someone put a spell on him? He stinks.
He's ill. He
couldn't breathe.
He's ill.
He's been ill for 2 months. He's 26 years old. I didn't realize, I had the flu for 12 days. I'm an out-of-shape alcoholic, This guy can't recover in 2 months. He's a pro athlete.
Well, I don't. If you're going to start asking me what's happening with the bodies of the 7'3" people, like in sports, we're making athletes bigger and stronger and weirder shape than ever before.
We haven't talked. Speaking of athletes, we haven't talked enough about the Luke Cornet revenge game.
I know. Look. I didn't know he was Ben Wallace when the Knicks need something. It's like, of course he turns into it was insulting that he had 7 blocks, but then when he threw down that reverse backwards alley-oop dunk, I was like, that's like a Stromile Swift dunk. That's not even I've never seen a white player do that dunk ever. Needless to say, a 7-foot attitude. That was insane. I was like, at that point, you're just like, just take it. Just take the game. Go away.
Do you like his nickname, the White Howard?
I haven't heard that one. When he was on the Knicks, we called him the Unicornet, because we had the unicorn and I mean, it's crazy that he and Porzingis were both Knicks, but yeah, the White Howard's better. I'll give you that.
What kind of shape are you going to be in later today? Because we've been talking about the emotional fandom here of, man, if you're going to make me spike around going on a comedy tour, I'm making a meeting, making a movie, I'm drinking after shows, and also my heart is breaking because I'm going from that's the best sports feeling I've had in 25 years to that kind of feels like the worst sports feeling I've had in 25 years. Your life's a bit careening right now.
I'm probably going to die young, dude. Thanks for bringing it up. Yeah, I feel like I'm hungover. I don't sleep ever. I just got off of like a 50-city tour. I'm tired. But look, that wasn't the worst loss we've had. I mean, game that low was not as high as the high on Monday. So I look, we still
but the end of this series would be if you lose the next two games, the low's going to be lower than the high was.
Yeah, dude, I got a ceiling fan in my room. I'm going to check the weight. I'll put it that way. That might be it for me. That might be the last time I come on your dumb little family show here. And you for bringing that up. It's not going down that way. Knicks in 6.
Yeah, it'd be embarrassing with no Tatum and no Porzingis. I mean, how can you lose to that team?
Yeah, well, either way, we destroyed the Celtics. So how do you like them apples?
Sam, what happens if you have a show and it's a Knicks finals game?
The victory's the injury? The victory's Tatum's being out for a year?
First off, I purposely didn't. I even have a benefit on the books that I said if the Knicks have a game, I'm not coming.
Okay.
Wow.
F them kids.
That's real.
I purposely did not book any gigs past this, so I have nothing really big till July. I did 50 cities already. I got it out of the way. So yeah, no shows. Also, I just want to see Portnoy shut up. I'm sick of his dumb videos.
So Sam, let me. This opens the door. I want to ask you this question because yesterday a ruling came down that Spike Lee has lost his #1 fandom.
I don't remember making that ruling.
Well, you weren't here. The alternate judge would say that. Well, no, it's open. It's open now because he skipped the Knicks playoff game to go to the Met Gala, and that's you just said right now you'd skip benefits, you skip a show if the Knicks had a finals game on that day. He skipped a playoff game to go to the Met Gala, so we stripped him of his #1 fandom. But now we open it up, and so there's a lot of people applying. We got McEnroe, we've got Ben Stiller, Tracy Morgan. Chalamet.
Sam.
I respect Chalamet. He goes to every game. He goes on the road, so you got to show him respect. It's hard to take away Spike's keys, man. That guy was he was paying for tickets in like this late 60s. Spike is old,
But I feel like he's been riding that story for years now.
No, but wait a minute. make the accusation that made you officially take it away from Spike. He chose the Met Gala over a Knicks playoff game.
And Steve Martin was a prop comic.
No, but I'm saying, tell him, lean on the specifics of it.
Well, the specifics are like, hey, man, if you're going to make that choice, it sounds like you're not that big of a fan. I'm just saying, like the Met Gala get dressed up.
Met Gala's every year.
Every year.
I will say that Spike disappeared for a couple years when Brooklyn came to New York. I will say that.
That sounds like he's coming a little over to your side.
So, Sam.
Yeah.
Are you a candidate for the #1 Knicks fan?
Wow.
No, I think I don't like this like #1 Knicks fan. What are we doing? This is what you non-Knicks fans do. You try to turn us against each other.
Well, Stephen A. is the #1 Knicks fan right now. Stephen A. is clearly the #1 Knicks fan.
100%.
Obviously.
The #1 most annoying Knicks fan. I'll give you that. He's a pain in the ass. No one likes him. Apparently, our ESPN numbers are terrible. You can't convince me that cancer isn't part of it. No, he's not in the running. No Knicks fan would say he's in the running. There's no #1 fan. Knicks Twitter is just a beautiful, holy place where the fans come to talk and share funny memes. And I think we kept it classy about Tatum, which is why we're the best fan base.
I bet it's closer to hell.
No, it's not hell. Philly Twitter is hell. That's hell.
I believe that.
Let me tell you something.
What about hockey Twitter?
If Tatum tours ACL again, if Jason Tatum tours Achilles against the Sixers, tell me that fan base would have been classy. They would have been sending flowers, that said you, Tatum. That would have been
Hey,
nice.
flowers are kind of classy. I like that.
Hey, but it would have been a misdirect. It would have said, "Here's flowers." You're like, "Oh, Philly's nice," and then it would have said,
Kind of like
out.
one of these.
Don't tell me the Knicks fans are the Knicks fans. We all obviously applaud Tatum. We know he's a great player, and we felt terrible that happened. So, but Philly, they would have been loving that.
Can you play for me, Chris, me accurately predicting and celebrating the victory lap in general of what it is that I was rooting in for this Boston-New York series?
Tatum's injury.
No,
You're
well,
rooting for his
well,
injury.
I'm rooting.
One of the moment.
I'm rooting for Boston fans and New York fans to both suffer. I don't know how we achieve that, but we're on our way so far. And the way I feel about both the Knicks and the Celtics fan base make it so that this game, I want the meteor to win. I want both teams to explode, both teams to lose, both teams to get injured.
Not a good look, Dan.
Ouch.
I wasn't rooting
I
for
don't know
that
why you're such an
injury.
angry person. You have a nice life down there. You have a very nice wife. You have a great studio. You got a good morning show here.
Nice family show.
The problem is why you're so angry. Why are you so angry living in sunny Florida with a good life, you prick? Why can't you let me be happy for once? Because your team imploded? Because Tyler Hero's your best player? F off.
I think that's a good dismount.
Yeah,
I think
Very
that's a
Thank
good.
you.
That's a
Thank you,
suey.
Sam.
I
That's
think
a
that-
suey for
I
dismissal.
don't think I could do better than that. Any parting words for Tony here before you go, though? Because you've got
Eat Tony and eat Dan.
Well,
Both of you can suck my.
Go to
Okay,
hell,
there it
Morrill.
goes. All right.
and-
I almost saw you at the Doral Improv. I'm glad I didn't.
There. No, what are you doing? He was great. What do you mean? What?
What?
What are you feuding?
You just told him to suck it.
I
Yeah,
told him. I almost
shouldn't-
saw him and I
shouldn't-
didn't.
he's-
Should have been funnier. Rat bastard.
I told you I worried about playing with these guys when they're angry.
You love playing with guys when they're angry, from what I've heard.
All righty. See you later, Sam.
Hey, yo.
That's a dismount.
Got him.